Blue ball, snowball. There you go. It should be good now. Let me know if it's good on my YouTube if you guys can hear me now. Malcolm. Hey man, that show was a banger. Can hear you though. I just fixed it for you. Let me know if you can hear me now. So I'm looking for price where gold possibly to go back up to these levels, right? I see that it's still respecting levels of supply. When we look at price, it's still respecting quite often all these levels that we're looking at for supply. So we're looking for some flips now. We're gonna start seeing price definitely start dropping to these levels and start rejecting price. But for now, it's just showing us supply is taking control of everything, and we have demand taking control of everything. Can you do me a favor, my love? Could you take out these things out of my stuff like this? Just put it in the thing.
Yes.
Thank you. YouTube channel is gonna be Smart Money Origin. Smart Money Origin. And then we have price rebalancing in this right here, rejected that, and then same thing here. We have price rebalance this, not yet. So we're looking at price right now. What I'm looking for is these supply levels to finally start breaking. Once these supply levels start breaking in the smaller time frame, is we hit the PDA rate and we are on a kill zone right now, or a macro, sorry, we could be looking for price to go back up higher with gold. So right now we're kind of sitting over here. I want to see price start breaking these levels of supply, give me some demand, and then we can go back up higher for gold. As of now, we're still respecting, you know, these levels. Unfortunately, you can see out here, if you were the trader that goes into 930, this would have been a level. But again, you gotta wait for the macros. So the macros are gonna be from 950 to 1010. That's when you have these hunts like this, right? What is that?
Sanitizer.
Why?
We're gonna eat.
Oh, the food's here.
It's like 5 minutes away.
Oh, nice. Let's go down cloud 10. Again, if you guys want to look at the stream, make sure you guys join my YouTube. That's where I'm kind of sharing everything on YouTube as we speak. I'm looking for the highs to get taken with gold, and now I'm gonna start looking actually at S&P a little bit more as well. It's also interesting the way that we have kind of gone up, a little bit of a bullish sign. I don't know what's going on here. What is this replay? Take this out. So yeah, we're looking for gold to go back up higher to these levels for sure, but first we need to see a clean break of structure within the smart time frames. M5, not really a break yet, right? We can see how it kind of respected this level, higher, rejected that level, and then from there we kind of dropped. So we're still in, I would say, bearish territory until we get a cleaner sight for gold to show us that it does want to go higher, right? For like the time being, not really, but you know, for the time being, like, yeah, obviously we're bullish from the small terms, we know that, but we have to be cautious of what we're looking for. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at S&P. If we look at S&P, we're obviously very bullish. You know, this didn't really break much of structure. People might have been confused on this looking at a level as potential. Obviously, this is a level of higher low point, higher high, but when you look at their overall structure, this is just a big gigantic order block on S&P, right? So this is going to be just a big gigantic order block. Obviously, in the very terms, you can notice that. So you can just mark that as a plus OB. And then if we're looking for price, you know, we know that this is an order block. We're always looking for price to take off the highs, which are going to be right here at around the 42645.50 area. Now, would we drop back down? Maybe. Is there liquidity down here? Let me see. I don't even know. So we took off the liquidity. Oh, we didn't take the London liquidity. We took off the Asian liquidity, but we're definitely still pushing to those highs at around the highs of the day. You know, whatever made those highs of the day, we're pushing towards that. And it just looks very bullish for now. So I wouldn't even try to get in this, like on S&P or US 30. You know, same thing. We're kind of the same setup. You know, we're still looking for those highs. If we're looking for US 30, looking for those highs to get taken, what I'm going to focus on now is I'll be looking more at the smaller time frames, right? We can see those smaller time frames. We have dropped down, but there's still liquidity that we should grab, which are going to be around these levels if we're not able to take those highs. So we can mark that off as liquidity, and then we could be looking at these levels as our potential entries, which would be like right around down here. These could be levels where you could be taking potential entries, and then focus on price going back to that area. We look, that's also M5 FVG right there. That'll be nice if we take liquidity there, and then maybe make some levels of demand on the M1, and then we continue taking those longs for as US 30 / S&P 242,640 area. And now we're dropping substantially with gold. You know, we took up the highs again. We're still respecting levels of supply, so not really giving us any signs for price to drop down lower. And that's a sign we could be taking price to drop back down to the new week's opening gap, right? Because it's not really rejecting any level of demand, but it's respecting the more levels of supply, right? And that's showing me signs that it would potentially drop down to the 3208 area. So what I'm kind of looking for now is how can I take advantage of that? You know, even if I am in the long, can take advantage of that somewhere. If we look at price, we had higher high, higher low point, higher low points. That was a small breaker, and we could be looking at the M1 now to potentially take price back down towards that area. So M1 is kind of giving me entry signals now. You could also count this as a small breaker right here. If we look at price, where we rebalance this, level here, we took off the highs there. So this is going to be a smaller time frame breaker, right? So what does that mean? That means that now I'm going to be taking these cells back down towards down here, right? I'm going to be taking price down towards this level. I could have stops a little bit higher for a nice little 2 to 1. And that will be it right there. I want to put price above that level. So I'm not going to be greedy. I'm just seeing where I'll put my stop loss here. Okay, so that's fine for me. We could put price above the FVG, shouldn't go back above that, and we're looking at M1 trades right now as we speak. So I'm looking for gold to drop down towards the new week opening gap. And I'm going to go ahead and send that sell out to the signals. So you guys are in that trade? Are you guys looking for the trade that I'm looking at? this is gonna be the trade. We got gold M1, broke lower, broke lower, broke lower. Have that breaker that took up this liquidity right here. We should continue dropping lower. We could rebalance up here and then dropping down to new week's opening gap down here. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. If we look at our overall structure, we're obviously not respecting levels of supply. It looks like price wants to drop back down to rebalance these levels right here, which is our new week opening gap. And then from there, we would see if prices want to continue potentially taking up the highs up there. But as of now, we are showing some very strong bearish signs. We should be looking for price to drop back down to that area at around the 3211.428 mark. So stop loss is gonna be roughly at 32.25, and then TP is gonna be at 3211.42. And we're also making that M5 FVG as we speak. Okay, so we just hit the M1 level that we were kind of looking at. Not quite. Obviously, I would prefer price to go back a little bit higher, but we have seen some rejections as we're at right now. What pair is going to be gold? It just rebalanced it. It misses by a wick. I am in it. I'm not going to lie. So I'm already in gold as we speak. It misses by a wick, and I'm not going to wait for that. You know, I'm not like waiting for price to do stupid shit like that where it just misses us by a little wick. I'd rather just get in the trade and let it go. So we're in that gold trade as we speak. We're in those cells, locking it in and see if price can drop back down towards the 3211.428 area. Price should definitely just drop down from here. I'm being quite honest. So we're in short-term sells, but long-term longs, right? Is it gold? Yes. That's what I'm trading right now. We're trading gold. We're on those shorts. Voice too low? Is it really too low? If it's too low, I apologize, guys. So we just took up the highs from US 30. We haven't taken the highs yet with S&P. That's a little bit of SMT. But we should still be taking those highs, if I'm being quite honest. Alright, just wait for gold, let price do its thing, and there, see what's popping here. We're looking at 3211.48 as the arrow. What's on my left?
Bro, this is for me because I don't have. They brought it to the wrong address.
Where is it?
I'll see.
What the hell? It's weird.
So I already ordered it for you, but
Okay.
so I'm eating this.
Okay, thank you. Did you call them though? Like to dispute it?
Yeah, that's what I'm just using the credit.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted.
Well, you don't have time yet. Sorry. So we're looking price drop down to a 3211.428 mark. Babe, take a picture for Joseph real quick. Yeah, also from my IG. 3218, 3217 should be dropping now to our new week opening out for gold. I hope you guys are in that trade. Did you? No, I need more. I need more. Because I want to show the profits too. Just one more.
5 minutes.
Just one more. Good?
We'll do it.
Huh? Too far. Is it that hard to show your screen? I'm in the YouTube. That's where I'm showing my live trades on the YouTube right now. If you guys are on the YouTube, you would see this trade. We have that gold short right now that we're rocking with. If you want to see the live screen, you can go on my YouTube for sure. You can see it right here though. I got you. So we have that gold trade. It missed the entry. I told you guys it was gonna be in right here. So we're in that. Looking for the shorts right here. Lock that in. Have some profit already secured. We should be seeing gold drop here. I'm not really liking the way that it's just like sitting around this area. I might just close out some profits here. Hold the rest. Sorry for my dogs, guys. I apologize for that. Babe, regáñalo, please. So I'm just waiting now, right? This is the macro. We had the 910 to 1010. We should be waiting for price to drop that lower. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Sorry, my little ass dog being mad now. Who's in gold with me, guys? Who's in the shorts with me for gold? You guys think we're gonna drop here, go higher? I should definitely be at break even now, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put stops at 3225.393. So I'm gonna put stops to break even here. 3225.393. 3225. It's gonna be our stop loss right there. For gold. If it hits our break even, it hits our break even, you know what I mean? If it hits our break even, it hits our break even. Did you just say Diam? Diam, what's Diam? I'm not sure what that is. So my break even right now is gonna be right here. I lose a little bit because obviously my entry is gonna be at that level, but I'm willing to lose that. So right here is my break even. That's fine by me if it hits that, whatever. I don't want price to go back up to that level, and then if we break this and we start making levels of demand, we can take those longs back up to take the highs at the 3245 level, right? And that would be good as well. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that at all.
No, sir. Oh my god. You're gonna feed them?
Yeah. Price is not really moving here for gold. What are you guys looking for here? What are you guys trading? Let me know. I really have my squeeze shut off. Damn, so we're about to hit break even for gold. It looks like it hit that level. Now it just hit a real entry, which I honestly don't know if I should be closing that, but I'm not a fan of it. So we're gonna go ahead and close that trade for gold. Break even. Honestly, that is M5. Yeah, well, let's go back in it, guys. Let's go back in gold. Why not? Risk a little bit. Risking for the biscuit. Still a level of demand. So we're gonna go ahead and go back in that. Hold gold. Let's hold those gold cells. Price should be going up higher here. I'm not a fan of this. Just close the cells. I'm not a fan of that. The way it's moving.
You have the phone?
Yeah. But I'm not a fan of the way price is moving, to be honest. But well, I mean, it's a level of supply. You know what I mean? So price should drop down from there. Our original entry has been triggered for gold. Obviously, if it does break above this level, we're going to be hitting stop loss, but you know, it is what it is. We do want to trade with the trend for today. So today's morning trend is definitely bearish, right? We took off the liquidity, we weren't able to break the highs. M1 has shown us enough to see that price does want to drop down lower. And obviously, we just need to see price actually continue here. Obviously, if we don't continue, you know, it's unfortunate. But then that means that we will be breaking levels of supply turning to demand, which then we could potentially capitalize on that and take some longs. We're now hitting actually our M5 FEG, so you guys can mark that off as well. That's kind of what we're currently on. We are on that M5 FEG. And this is important of also having risk management, because I'm very up on the trade that I have for the gold longs, but I know that on the short term we could have some spot volatility of price dropping down, right? And even if I'm wrong, it's fine because I still have my longs, right? So I'll share that also. We'll post in a little bit, because I am an intraday trader more than anything, but I am starting to like swinging more as well, right? We do know that overall in the long term, gold is going to be longs, but if you get opportunities to short it on the intraday side, it's no problem to do it. You know, it's sometimes at a 2-to-1. I'm willing to risk my $500 to make 1,000. You know, and if I don't, it is what it is. Looks like price will be hitting our level. Unfortunately, the M5 is looking a little bit bullish, but we gotta continue over setup, right? There's still these levels of supply that we're still in, and as long as we're not breaking them, you know, we can rock with the gold shorts until we break that. So this is definitely gonna be a level of structure here. This M5. If we break this M5 level, it's gonna be a confirmed level. What the hell is that? 1 second, guys. Scared me. I don't know what the dog was doing, but he was just chewing the ball. What's going on? Fear the lamb. Chilling. You had a doubt, tell me. I also started my funded journey. Nice, man. I'm starving. So look for gold sell CH, won't force it though. If we break this level, I'll be looking for the longs for sure. But yeah, we are pushing higher. It's not looking good. At least not for my short-term sells, which is fine. We have long-term longs. It's not the end of the world. Alright, we're back, guys. Sorry. So yeah, it's not looking good for the short-term sells for gold. Probably will be hitting that stop loss, which I'll be focused now on the longs as we speak. That's fine. I mean, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not looking great. We did just break out of that level, out of the FEG that we had focused our eyes on. So definitely gonna be just closing this out. Take that out on the gold and focus now. Well, honestly, not until it breaks, because what stop loss is right there. So not until it actually hits that, will I be willing to close that. Let's see if price does respect this last order block, this last hope that we have of supply. And if we don't, then we know we are in for the shorts. Sorry, for the longs if we break that level. And we are now entering into a bullish state, but we're still in it. So let's see what price does. M5 still looking a little bit bearish. We're getting a little bit glimpse of hope here on this M5. Nice little bearish engulfing here. Hopefully we can end red, and then under that order block would be just ideal. Definitely need a break of the smaller time frame OB right here. If we do start respecting that, like if we start respecting this OB right here that I'm looking at right here, if we respect this, then I'm gonna be looking for that next smaller time frame M1 OB to then focus on the longs all the way back up to the highs that I've marked off up here, which is my overall target for the long-term longs. Again, short-term shorts, long-term longs. We could scalp a little bit as long as we're trading conservatively, right? And it looks like it is respecting that smaller time from OB, which is unfortunate. I wouldn't, kind of in between, you know, like I wouldn't mind price dropping down to take off the lows here so I could cash out these sells, but I don't mind price continuing going higher here as well either. You know, what I do know is that there is liquidity, enough liquidity right now in the market for price to definitely hit one of the levels today, which it's either going to be the lows or the highs. The lows would be at 3207 and the highs would be at 3252. So still kind of hanging on around that level, unfortunately. What's going on, Satish? We do have also S&P dropping now, which is not good in terms of SMT. Took off those highs and now dropping down. I don't really like looking at that. No, sometimes it does affect the market overall. Like looking at SMT like that, you could start seeing the sideways. Should I close the gold short now? I mean, I'm holding it. Stop loss is like a couple pips away. You know, anything could happen. I did the analysis and it is what it is. If it does hit it, then I'll be looking for the longs for sure. We'll be twisting it now from supply to demand. But for now, I'm still holding it. You know, it hasn't really done much. It hasn't breaking the highs. Like we have that M1 order block, but it hasn't breaking the structure yet to confirm that we are in the better structure. If it does break the M1, then we could be looking as well for the longs. He's from Brazil. I'm Colombian. Damn, gold is flying right now, which is not bad, but like that sucks that they want to smack with you guys that sell that we were going through. You know, I don't like hitting like. I know I have the long-term longs, but I wanted to hit the sell with you guys as well. You know, so which is unfortunately. We're gonna start focusing now on the longs now that we have hit stop loss, or we're about to. Again, not yet, but we're very close. So that's first level of supply being broken. We can now switch the bias here. We can start seeing how now these levels of demand are actually being respected, now turning into supply, right? So supply now turning into demand. We are respecting these levels, unfortunately. You know, we were a little bit off on the sells. We weren't wrong because we did have the correct setup there, but we start seeing how price is now rejecting out of these levels of supply and now making obviously flip zones according to the setup. So we could erase all of this and we can now be focused on the overall longs, which is what we're looking at here. We're gonna focus on comments. What do you want me to do or say? So I will be looking now, seeing how these M1 levels react. We did respect that M1 order block or small time frame order block. Supply still drop me until 3241. 3241. Maybe for sure. I do like the way that we have hit this level right there, and we took off the liquidity lows right here. So we took off these liquidity levels right here as well. We could count this as a smaller time frame sweep. I'm a fan of that. So definitely once we sweep this is 3 drives. I'm definitely looking for a price now, not even to go back down to this, just to continue going higher to take off the highs up here. All this liquidity that's going on. And then what I would prefer is for price to either give me a smaller time frame entry or potentially what? If it doesn't break this, then I'm looking for the highs up there, which we can definitely put that setup up already. Look at how the stops below this. A little bit above that, actually. Let me see that M5. Where's the M5 FEG at? Will be right here. So we're gonna put it right below that. And then we're gonna focus on the longs here, right there. That's kind of setup that I'll be looking forward right now. And that is what we would be on gold right now. So, lock in that entry. we'll see if that does hit. Keep your eyes on gold to continue on with those longs right now. Flying right now, obviously it's not gonna hit our entry. I hate when that happens. Like whenever you spot that setup that you know it might hit, and then it just skedaddles out of your entry, right? That's so annoying. Alright guys, I'm gonna hang up the phone because I'm gonna focus on some other stuff. But make sure you guys do have these longs gearing up for gold. You should be looking for price to continue going back up there. It's also making that M5 level of demand, so focus on that as well. I am a fan of the way that it also just kind of exploded out of here, so we're gonna count this as another level of demand as well. And we can go back up higher to our entry right here and move this a little bit higher, so making it 2-to-1 right there, and we can now focus on that as we speak for the highs up there. So it also hit this breaker point. It really shouldn't drop below this breaker point if we're looking at price. That's one time frame breaker. So yeah, this is probably the entry right here. Just continue with the trend, right? Continue with the trend as long as price is giving you options to. My last work sub will be at that 3240 mark. Once we hit that, I'll be at break even again for sure. Because if it drops back down, then we don't want to tap. Just should have just been at break even once we had that drop and we like tapped into the FEG. That second entry was kind of pointless, if I'm being honest. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the stream. We're leveling in tomorrow. You guys know how it goes. The number trade, the number leverage. Safe trading and peace.